Raina Jackson had lived in the city for a few years now, and she thought she had experienced it all. A software engineer by profession, she had moved from her small hometown to work at a prestigious tech company. Today was her day off, and she decided to visit a quaint boutique she'd heard about from her colleagues. It was known for its unique handmade jewelry and vintage clothing, and Raina, with her love for one-of-a-kind pieces, was excited to explore. The bell above the door jingled as she walked in. The store was as charming as she'd imagined, with soft lighting and shelves filled with beautifully crafted items. Raina was immediately drawn to a display of earrings, each pair more intricate than the last. She picked up a pair to admire the craftsmanship when she felt eyes on her. The store owner, a middle-aged woman with a pinched face, had been watching her since she entered. Raina smiled at her, trying to be polite, but the woman didn't smile back. Instead, she continued to stare, her expression hard and unwelcoming. Ignoring the uncomfortable feeling, Raina moved to another section of the store, looking through a rack of vintage dresses. As she did, she noticed the store owner moving closer, her eyes narrowing with suspicion. Raina tried to brush it off. She had experienced this kind of behavior before, and it never got easier, but she refused to let it ruin her day. Raina asked, trying to keep her tone light. The woman didn't answer immediately. She just looked Raina up and down before finally speaking. "Are you planning to buy anything, or are you just browsing?" Raina was taken aback by the abruptness and the accusatory tone. "I haven't decided yet," she replied. "I'm still looking around." The owner huffed and crossed her arms. "We don't allow loitering here. If you're not buying, you should leave." Raina felt her face flush with anger and embarrassment. She knew what this was. She had been followed around in stores before, watched as if she might steal something just because of the color of her skin. But this was different. This was outright hostility. "I'm not loitering," Raina said, keeping her voice steady. "I'm a customer. I have every right to look around and try things on." "I don't understand," she said firmly. "I'm a paying customer, and I don't appreciate being treated like a criminal." The owner scoffed. "Maybe if you didn't look so suspicious." Before she could finish, another customer, a young white woman who had been quietly browsing, stepped forward. "Excuse me, but I've been in here for 20 minutes and you haven't said a word to me. Why are you harassing her?" The young woman continued, her voice rising. "It's pretty obvious. You're treating her differently because of her skin color. That's not okay." Raina felt a wave of gratitude towards the young woman and the other customers who were now looking at the owner with disapproval. As Raina walked out of the boutique, the store owner, enraged by the support Raina had received from the other customers, decided to take matters into her own hands. She picked up the phone and dialed 911, reporting a suspected theft and describing Raina in detail. Raina was just a few blocks away, still trying to shake off the sting of the encounter, when she heard the police sirens. A squad car pulled up beside her, and 2 officers stepped out. "Ma'am, we need to speak with you," one of the officers said, his tone stern. Raina's heart raced. "What's this about?" she asked, though she had a sinking feeling she already knew. "We received a report of theft from the boutique you just left," the officer explained. "We need to search your belongings." Raina was stunned. "I didn't steal anything." "You can search me, but you won't find anything." The officer nodded and proceeded with a thorough search, patting her down and checking her pockets. "You forgot to check her bag," the owner said, her eyes gleaming with malice. The officer took the bag from Raina and, as he searched through it, his expression changed. He pulled out the dress, holding it up for everyone to see. Raina's heart dropped. "That's not mine. She must have put it in there," she said, her voice trembling with a mix of anger and disbelief. "Ma'am, you're under arrest for shoplifting," the officer said, ignoring her protests. He cuffed her wrists behind her back. "Please, you have to believe me. I didn't take anything. She planted it in my bag." Raina pleaded, her eyes welling up with tears. The officer didn't respond, leading her to the squad car. As they drove to the station, Raina couldn't shake the feeling of helplessness and despair. She knew she was innocent, but the situation seemed hopeless. She needed to contact someone, her lawyer, her friends, anyone who could help prove her innocence. Hours passed before she was finally allowed her one phone call. She called her best friend, Maya. Maya, I need your help. I've been arrested for shoplifting, but I didn't do it. The store owner planted the dress in my bag, Raina explained, her voice shaking. Maya was shocked but immediately sprang into action. Hang tight, Raina. I'm on my way, and I'll bring our lawyer. We'll get this sorted out. Meanwhile, word of Raina's arrest spread quickly on social media. The young woman who had stood up for Raina in the store posted a video recounting the events, including the moment the police arrived. The video went viral, garnering thousands of views and comments from people outraged by the blatant racism and injustice. Maya and the lawyer arrived at the station, armed with evidence and the video. They demanded to speak with the officers handling Raina's case. Reluctantly, the officers reviewed the video and listened to Maya's impassioned explanation of what had really happened. After what felt like an eternity, Raina was finally released, though the ordeal was far from over. Her lawyer assured her that they would press charges against the boutique owner for false accusations and plant evidence. The video footage, along with testimonies from other customers, would play a crucial role in the case. The community rallied around Raina, organizing protests and calling for justice. The boutique owner faced intense scrutiny and backlash, with many people vowing to boycott her store. In the end, Raina's name was cleared, and the owner was charged with multiple offenses, including perjury and racial profiling. The case against the boutique owner gained significant traction, largely due to the viral video and the support Raina received from the community. During the trial, several witnesses, including the young woman who had initially stood up for Raina, testified about the owner's discriminatory behavior. The evidence was damning. Not only did the video clearly show the owner's malicious intent, but the testimonies from other customers who had experienced similar treatment painted a picture of a pattern of racist behavior. The boutique owner was found guilty of false accusations, perjury, and racial profiling. She was ordered to pay substantial fines and compensation to Raina for the emotional distress and damage to her reputation. Additionally, she was required to undergo sensitivity training and community service. The backlash against the boutique was swift and unforgiving. The local community, outraged by the owner's actions, organized a boycott. Social media campaigns called for people to stop shopping there, and the store's reputation was irreparably damaged. Foot traffic dwindled to almost nothing, and soon the store could no longer sustain itself. Within a few months, the boutique was forced to close its doors. The once bustling shop now stood empty, a testament to the power of community action against injustice. Raina felt a mix of emotions as she walked past the shuttered boutique. She was relieved that justice had been served, but she also felt a deep sadness for the way things had transpired. No one should have to endure what she did, and the closure of the boutique was a reminder of how far society still had to go in addressing systemic racism.